In this video, we got another episode of the Start Bench Cut series. If you guys don't know what this series is, basically you guys will let me know 3 different players on Twitter. I'll put a tweet on X7 Tanakis asking for 3 different players for a Start Bench Cut vid, and then in the replies down below, you guys will give me 3 different cards. So for example, Invincible MJ, Invincible Kobe, and Invincible LaMelo, and I'll have to rank these cards basically in order from who I think is the best to who I think is the worst. So who I would start, who I'd bench, and then who I would cut. So if you guys also want to let me know that type of stuff down below on the YouTube comment section, let me know 3 different players down below, and I'll tell you guys who I would start between them, who I'd bench, and then who I would cut. But looking at the first one here, coming in from Mike, he's going to say Opal, Yao Ming, Ralph Sampson, and Kristaps. Once again, assuming we're talking at that center position. For me, I still think you got to give the slight edge to Galiosopo Yao. I know he's only a Galiosopo card compared to 2 other Dark Matters, but he's still 7'6" at that center position, 7'9" wingspan. We know this card's been out since January 20th. We know how good Galiosopo Yao Ming can be, especially in the right hands if you're good at mashing. Just this card is so overpowered and really easy to use for majority of players. So I would say start Opal Yao Ming. I would say at the center position, I would bench Ralph Sampson over Kristaps, just because I do think Ralph's the better center card. He's 7'4" at that center position, 7'8" wingspan. He's got one of the best player models in the game, and he's one of the best paint defenders, where Kristaps I think is a lot better at power forward nowadays. If you want to run Kristaps, I would just run him at power forward next to a card like a Ralph Sampson or a Yao Ming. So for this one, I would do start Yao Ming, bench Ralph Sampson, and then cut Kristaps in order the way that he asked the question. So next one here is going to be Jonathan Isaac, Zion, and Opal AK-47. For this one, I would say it's close between Isaac and Zion. I would give it to Isaac though. I think Isaac's probably the best small forward between the 3, just because of the defensive presence he does bring. 6'11" at that small forward spot, 7'2" wingspan. He's got pretty much perfect defensive stats and badges. Every single Hall of Fame defensive badge, 98 block, 97 steal, 97 perimeter, 97 interior defense, and does have a capable enough jump shot and some pretty good dribble sigs. And then between AK and Zion, if it was a Dark Matter AK, I would maybe say AK, but I'm gonna give the slight edge to Zion at small forwards. I'm gonna say start Jonathan Isaac, bench Zion, and then cut Opal AK-47. Next one's gonna be Jalen Rose, Lance, and Hiro Hito at the 1. For me, this one is really easy for who's gonna be starting, and that's Hito Turkoglu, 100% for his hero version. He's 6'10" at the 1, has an elite level jump shot. He for sure 100% has to be starting. And then between Lance Stevenson and Jalen Rose, I think it's somewhat close of a debate. Rose definitely has the size advantage, being a 6'8" point guard with a 7' wingspan, but Lance does have a really good player model in game. You take a look at their stats. Lance got him beat pretty much on everything, especially defensively wise. I think Lance is going to be the better defender with a +10 block, +4 steal, +6 lateral quickness, +5 perimeter, +4 interior. He's definitely got better stats. Tendencies wise, Jalen Rose does have it a little bit better. So I think it really just comes down to the animations. Also, Lance does have more Hall of Fame badges in general, but I think it really comes down to the animations. Dribble sigs wise, Jalen Rose takes it, but I think Lance has got a better jump shot. I do like Lance's release a lot more. I think it's a lot more consistent. It's really close, man. I'm gonna say bench Lance Stevenson and cut Jalen Rose, but that one's really a toss-up for who's gonna be benched and then who's gonna be cut. Looking at the next one here, coming in from, I'm not even trying to pronounce it, we'll just say Rosie. He's gonna say Playoff Jimmy, AK-47 Dark Matter, and Dark Matter DeMar. So AK for sure is gonna be starting between these 3. He's one of the best shooting guards in the game. I'm assuming we're talking about at shooting guard. Yeah, he's one of the best shooting guards in my team. Such a good defender, all around absolute beast at that shooting guard position. There's nothing really to not like about AK. He's pretty much a perfect shooting guard, especially if you do like his jump shot. Between Jimmy and DeMar, I'm kind of leaning DeMar just because of his jump shot. I do think his release is a lot better. They're very similar though when it comes to the height, the wingspan, and the player model pretty much equals each other out, cancels each other out. Jimmy definitely has better stats all around and has a couple more Hall of Fame badges, but I think it's close enough that it really doesn't matter, and it just comes down to the animations, where I think DeMar's got slightly better dribble sigs. He's got the DeMar size up compared to the Jimmy size up, and I do like it a ton more. And he also just moves a lot quicker in game. They both got the name behind the back. They both got the tray escape. You look at their jump shots. I think that's the biggest difference personally. I think DeMar's jump shot is a lot easier to time and a lot quicker. So for that reason, I would say you want to start AK-47, the dark matter version. You want to bench DeMar, and then you want to cut playoff Jimmy. But I do think it's somewhat close between Jimmy Butler and DeMar DeRozan. Next one here is going to be Radiant T-Mac, AK-47, and Terry Dischinger at the 2. I'm assuming he's talking about the dark matter AK because yeah, you can't play the Opal one at the shooting guard position. For this one, I'm still starting Radiant T-Mac. I used to think Terry was better, and I still think Terry's elite at shooting guard, but now that I've used Radiant T-Mac a lot more, I do think he's the best shooting guard between these three guys, so I'd say start Tracy McGrady. And then between AK and Terry Dischinger, it really just comes down to, at that shooting guard position for your squad, are you looking for defense or are you looking for offense? Because if you want defense, it's AK for sure. You take a look at the stats. He's got a +10 block, +4 steal, +3 perimeter, +8 interior defense. You take a look at the badges. He's got tons more in Hall of Fame. You take a look at the tendencies. He's got perfect defensive tendencies. Also the better player model, has more size, taller, bigger wingspan. Everything about AK defensively is better than Terry Dischinger, but then if you're looking for an offensive 2-guard, you want a guy to run your offense, you want a really good score, a guy that's got a super fast jump shot, then I think you probably go for Terry Dischinger. So for this one, I can't really choose. I think for me, I would take AK for my type of playstyle, and usually I like having defending guys at the shooting guard position. That's why I really do like LeBron and AK. They're some of my favorite cards in the game currently because they're the really good defensive 2 guards that can slash at the basket and defend at a super high level and have really good size for that shooting guard position. So for me personally, I would do it in order the way that you said it. Start Radiant T-Mac, bench AK, and cut Terry Dischinger. But once again, between Terry and AK, really comes down to what you need for your shooting guard position. Looking at the next one here is going to be Hero Jokic, Hero Ben Simmons, and Dark Matter Luka. For a lot of people, and these are the top 3 point guards in the game, I would throw in like a LaMelo Ball MJ potentially over Luka Doncic, but I think Jokic and Ben Simmons are easily the 2 best point guards in my team. I mean, Jokic is 6'11" at the 1, 7'3" wingspan. He can defend just like Ben Simmons because of his size, but he's also got such a good release with the Eric Paschall base, the Oscar Robertson upper on very quick timing, and then he's also got pretty good dribble sigs. And the nice thing about Ben is he's one of the best, if not the best, defensive point guard in the game. He's just got such great size for the point guard position. He's one of the best, if not the best, slashing point guards in the game, able to get to the basket with ease and finish at the rim. So this one pretty obvious. As much as I do like Luka Doncic and I think he's the best offensive point guard, I think you got to go start Jokic, bench Ben Simmons, and cut Dark Matter Luka. I'm just going to quickly fly through the next couple of ones, not really explain it too much and go into detail, but just tell you guys who I'd start, who I'd bench, and then who I would cut. So next one's going to be Invincible Bird, Invincible LeBron, and Invincible Giannis. I would start LeBron, bench Bird, cut Giannis. Next one's going to be at the 4, Dikembe, Bracket Busters Kareem, and Artist Gilmore. I would start Artist, bench Dikembe, cut Kareem. Next one's going to be Invincible MJ, Kobe, and Invincible LaMelo. This is a really close one. I would say start LaMelo, bench MJ, and cut Kobe, but that one honestly could go either way. I think they're all very similar point guards. Next one's going to be DeMar, AK, and playoff Jimmy Butler. I'm pretty sure I already did this one. Yeah, I think I already did that one. Hero Jokic, Invincible MJ, Dark Matter Luka. Similar to that Ben Simmons one. I think MJ's better than, I don't know. I think MJ and Luka is really close. I would personally take MJ over Luka, so I'm gonna go Hero Jokic starting, bench MJ, and then cut Luka, but I think him and Luka are very, very close at the point guard position. And then the last one here, guys, is going to be from Grant's Radiant T-Mac, Hero Tim Thomas, and Invincible Carmelo. For me personally, I think you go Hero Tim Thomas. He's 6'10" at the shooting guard position, still has one of the fastest jump shots. And then I would bench T-Mac over Carmelo. I think he's slightly better at that shooting guard position. So for this one, I would start Tim Thomas, bench T-Mac, and cut Carmelo. But let me know in the comment section down below, guys. Like I said, just let me know 3 different players, and I'll tell you guys who I'd start, who I'd bench, and then who I would cut. But hopefully you guys did enjoy the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.